Bam, bam, bam. Bow, bow, bow. Bow. Why am I singing that song? And by the way, yes, it is that time of day. There's a lawnmower outside. Hello. How's everyone? I hope you're all okay. Yeah. We got more stuff to kit bash. More old guardsman stuff to be recycled and reused by the orcs. Yeek! Oh gosh. I'm dead. There we go. I've got my gloves. I've got my gloves. Oh, fingies. Fingies going gloves. Bit by bit. What about? No, don't banana me. No. First thing you do, you come into a street, banana. Banana. So mean. So, where's the banana? Hello. Hi, Banwy. Do. At least Cuptle now knows not to eat me. No, no, no. Oh, gosh. That's an adorable little Cuptle in my animation though, isn't it? I don't know what happens to Cuptle's hat, but you know. Eat. Yeah, try distracting him with food. He doesn't want for chicken nuggies. I'm not a banana. I'm just a cupcake that's shaped like a banana Cuptle. Stop it. Stop it. No. But it's a Saturday.
Yummy.
And that means it's Games Workshop pre-ordered it. I've been trying to change my camera settings to try and be better, you know. I mean, look at this. Can you guys even, you know, I'm thinking this, maybe my settings are terrible. Let's look at them. Let's change them live, shall we? Okay. Let's lower that saturation down to about 65. Is that okay? It's okay. We turn this light on. Do we get better view of these things? Okay, we get them in more detail now. Nice. Yee. Oh gosh, I can see where the spray paint didn't reach that well. But yeah, we got these old Sentinels. They're very old. They're not the same as the current Sentinels you can buy. What's wrong with the camera? And I know I changed some settings, but it wasn't that much settings, was it? I mean, maybe it's a colour space. No, no. There we go. How's it looking? No, still looks weird. Thanks of a bee glove. A bee glove. Yeah, that red is a bit too vibrant, isn't it? Maybe the lower sharpness. No, it doesn't help. Backlight composition. No. Gamma. Whoa! No, no, okay, it's not for gamma. Let's leave a gamma alone. Okay, I mean, is it for focus? No, it's focused. Okay, remove the saturation. The glove looks a lot better. You know, I don't understand it. Why was it working yesterday, but not today? Maybe it's a brightness. No, I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna have to deal with this for red just popping way too much. I apologise, but hi Rahel, how you doing? Hi Bob the Innkeeper, hi Quadro, hi Branwy. Yes, do we have a stream in noir style? Wait, how do we do for noir again? It's like, it's something like where they just do speaking to themselves, and then it's like, they go, it was meant to be an ordinary day until she walked in with legs up to here, and it's always legs up to here, or do you know, legs as far as the eye can see. It's always silly. Oh gosh. We got orky bits that we can stick onto these things. Yeah, but we need to get the drivers out. Which is surprisingly easy. Oh my gosh, he just wants to come straight out of here. Okay, driver. We'll help you. Where's my clippers? My eyes, my eyes! They burn! Oh gosh, this guy was once painted. I can tell because there's a little bit of colour on his hands still. Must have hated the paint scheme. Well, it opened up. I mean, that's not bad. Okay, but we can close it up again. And look, we got the driver out. I mean, we can always just like swap his head for a grot head. Paint his hand with a grot coloured hand. And that could work. Let's try it. Okay, his head's come off. But yeah, we need to turn these old sentinels. I think they are meant to be missile sentinels, but I can't remember. Oh gosh, this one's that's got a working ball joint. That's cool. What's got a working ball joint to it? Rarity, metal model, was made to last. It's not a metal model, it's plastic. You might see a metal sheen because I think it was once painted metal inside. But no, it's plastic. Oh. Like, oh yeah, and for those who didn't see it on Discord, or for a short time I had it on Reddit, but for people on Reddit were not happy about my new big old monster. The big old truck we made yesterday, a looted battle wagon, yeah, I added a bit more details to it. Because it turns out it's a bit too big. It's a bit too big for your typical... I'm sorry about the brightness. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to change the settings. Turn this light off. It should help a little bit. It's a bit too big for a normal battle wagon. It's more battle fortress side, so I added 2 extra weapons because it already has the 5 big shooters. So I added these 2 to be sap cannons. Reddit never happened. You ruined my immersion, woman. You can't lie to me. Why can't you lie to me? Because it's not a metal model. I have metal models. Well, that's not one of them. But yeah, look. It's got the... I added onto the front. Some people will be happy about this. Electric-y boogaloo parts. Yeah, so there's some wires. There's another one of these things. I've also added to it. I'm a worm. No, I'm not a worm. Yeah. What did I do? The exposed symbols there, like little orky things all over the place. There's one just here as well. There we go. Then, or did this one fall off? That one fell off. It was meant to be a symbol just there, like that. However, there's another one here. There, that's like a wooden shield. Oh, and then there's a big one on the gun, and I added this electric gubbin on the side as well. Hello, Saradwin. You did a great job on this model. Oh no, this model is finished until we paint it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try, after we've got these sentinels made up, I'm thinking maybe it will be time to spray them with some spray paint, and then we can paint them next week. But it depends. I was proud of it, but I think part of the reason it's so ugly is because it's just a mess of different colours and stuff at the moment. I think if I undercoat it, it will look nicer than once we actually paint it. I've decided I'm going to paint it beige. As in, like, the looted guardsmen, the guardsmen they stole it from, I'm imagining they had, like, a beige colour scheme, I'm thinking. Maybe beige and light blue. Or olive green or something. Like, the armour's beige, a yellowish beige. And then their clothing under the armour, maybe a light blue. Maybe a pastel green or something. Or maybe a brown. Probably brown, actually. So I'm thinking of painting these the same colour, but with, like, metal tracks, obviously, and, like, rusted parts to them. And dirt and grime. And then just, like, blue on it as well, where the Orks have painted it. These extra panels, I'm thinking, will just be mostly metals and blue colours. Oh, yeah. Hello, Night Parade. Oh, but today we focus on the Sentinels. Yeah. Ugly, don't listen to them. They know nothing about Orkish beauty standards. I mean, it was an Ork subreddit, so you'd think they would. Okay, but I need to go to new recruit because I forgot what my killer cans are meant to be armed with. Loot train, raiders. No, not raiders. Okay, so the scrappers. What's that death dread armed with? No. It's gonna have 2 dread claws. Got dead choppy ability. I mean, what other weapons should it have? Custom Mega Blaster, Rocket Launcher, Scorcher, Big Shooter. Thinking Custom Mega Launcher, Mega Blaster. There we go. Okay, so enemy lists. The Stink Bag Loot Train. It's got all armed with rocket launchers. Okay, all armed with rocket launchers. I like rocket launchers. They get D3 attacks, they have a blast special rule for strength 9, AP -2, damage, what is it, 3? Damage 3, yeah. They're really good for like an anti-terminate. They're really good at killing terminators because they immediately just force them down to invulnerable save. And a single failure will kill them because of damage 3. Okay, that's the wrong bits box. Okay, bits box, yeah. Okay, got a bunch of from tech pieces here. And there's a few cool pieces I like. I've got a bunch of these like weapons and stuff. Orky weapons we can just glue onto them. But yeah, with D3 blast on them, it's like you fire into a squad of... Why did you turn me into a cat? You fire into a squad of orcs or something, right? Not orcs. Space Marines. Let's say a squad of 10. You get plus... Blah, blah, you get +2 attacks. Then you get to an average 2 attacks, but up to 3. Or maybe only 1. Because of your D3 normal attacks, and then you're wounding them on 2s, minusing 2 to the armor save. It's like what they're doing, and then we got like these little goblin crewmen. What I'm thinking of a goblin crew is I'm gonna put them like outside of it, and then just like cover up the windows. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the camera today. It just feels so weird. Yeah, cover up the window so you can just sit up there. I think the best ones of this would be like this one here. Where it's already armored up. And then we attach like the big old arms to them, to the side. This, we can just remove the flamethrower, and we can add a different weapon onto it. This one here already has the rocket launcher. Oh gosh, that one snapped off. That's fine. And then, like, we can put this arm here on this one. Oh, that wants to go on this side. That one also wants to go on the same side. This one can be put onto that side. Yeah. Okay, this one comes off normally. Rocket launchers, some of them already have cool rocket launchers and their own chainsaws. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't really like what's happening with the camera right now. I've changed it to my normal default settings, but... Let's see if I did something else here. Okay, did that help? Not really. We deactivate the video, then reactivate it. Could lower the saturation just a little bit more in hopes that that will work. Okay, sorry about for flashing and stuff. Okay, how did that work? Does it look a little bit better now? A little bit. Turn this light on. It looks okay. But so the thing that we're looking at is how to turn them all into rocket killer cans. And where did we put that dude from earlier? Here he is. Oh, I knew I should have just kept all the grot heads separate. Would have been useful. But now I have to search for them. Ooh, this is a cool symbol to put on. So we're going to go through the bits box first. And we're gonna, and we got stuff like this Ork driver. And I guess we could actually just like break open one of them and just put the Ork driver inside. We could also have like an Ork inside. Ooh, that could be good. Let's put that body to one side. That looks like a fun Orky bit to put on them. Okay, cool fuel tank to attach to them. Okay, we need an Ork head in here. Some other Orky bits. Any sorts of missiles we can find also would be very useful. What's a big old drill? We could put that to one side for now. Give me 240k fans and we can make them argue them here for end times. I just noticed that. And that is true. No, I don't want that piece. Bossing. I'm becoming... No, no, don't turn me into Chibi. Don't turn me into a marketable plushie. Ooh, what's this? That's an Ork head. Not a big fan of that one. Oh, that'd be a cool Ork head. No, I want grot heads. Okay, here's a grot head. Let's see how it would look on this guardsman body. Nah, it's not that good. I don't have spare grot arms to make him look better. There's not a great deal of them. But actually, we do have a grot head here that has a little cap on. Maybe he'd be better. And use a little bit of green stuff to make a net. Nah. I could try green stuff and little grot bodies into the canopy. Oh, I've actually got some different modelling putty. It's less sticky. I'll put some, yeah, some cool grot heads to one side just in case. I think just covering up the canopy in general can help. Hi Nanofate, hi Talan, how you both doing? Big hearts juice, no spare grot arms, you're not a grot fan at all. Look, the grot kits don't have many grot arms in them. I do have goblin arms, but those arms aren't going to be very useful. because of just how they're modelled. GW just needs to release some more grot stuff. By the way, this is my Xeno box, so that's why you see lots of weird Tyranid and Eldar bits in here as well. Oh, we could use this. Yeah, it could be cool. And those bits could work with it. I mean, I've got grots in cages. Does that help? Yeah, we'll move that to one side. I've got Eldar missile launchers. They could work. I'll clip one of these Eldar missile launchers off this. The Eldar missiles actually have really good stats. Although missiles have been growing on me a little bit more now, in general. Like rocket launchers and stuff of other factions. Because they are a little bit better general purpose weapons than a lot of other ones. When you don't really know what else you need in your list. You could do with a little more anti-tank, but you could also do with a little more anti-infantry. Rocket launcher. Okay, we've got one of these things we can glue in. That's cool. We're just looking for any sorts of bits we can use. We can use Xenos bits because we loot this. I mean, I don't know what that is. That looks cool. I just accidentally threw it back in. We got this other Eldar missile launcher. Machine guns aren't going to help much because, as I said, we've had them armed with rocket launchers. We can attach Eldar bits to them to be looted. Oh, just random armor plating. That's cool. Ooh, more random armor plating stuff. Very useful. More armor plating. Nice. Want anything that can make them look archier. Ooh. Ah, this is one of the chainsaws I was looking for yesterday. No. Been hearing a lot of rumours about Exodite Eldar recently. Ooh. A little front grill part. And we still got that plaster card we can use. I forgot to get the scissors. That looks like the top of a sewing rope head, but I think it's on the Marlock Trilagon kit. Could attach Tyranid bits to them. Got plenty of spare bits for that, but we'll think about that. We'll keep that in the maybe pile. Attach a random anti-tank mine to them. Just to make it easier for the enemy to explode them. Ooh. More bannery bits. Ooh, more archy symbols. That more arc armor, looks like it. Some weird gubbins. Sticking that. Oh, some tiny little plates. Those are really useful. But didn't I just have a baggie before that had some? Yeah, I think this has some tight, small gubbins and banners and stuff in. It does. I'll put a tiny little armor plates in here, so we're less likely to lose them. Or accidentally throw them away, think they're just scrap. Oh, a bit of a random claw. That could be useful. Other bit, plates and stuff. Okay, what's this? More armored plate bits. Oh, here's a grot arm. Yeah. Okay, more random little gubbins. And armored orky plate things. Just very small ones though. Necron head. Orky pistol. Ooh, random grenades. I'll keep them for something else in the future. Not a big fan of that orc head. How about this orc head? Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. Random gubbiny bits. Ooh, grabber from the grot grabbers. Rough herders. So let's carefully continue looking. Ooh, more tiny gubbins. Oh, and here's a good one. Another orky face. Yeah! That's got to be good to put on like the front of our sentinels, our killer cans. Some random gubbins. I kind of want to add some of these other bits that we're finding, like some Necron guns. But they wouldn't really give the appearance of missile launchers. I know WYSIWYG is dead, but I do enjoy trying to make stuff to WYSIWYG examples. Big old piece of metal claw stuff. Random gubbins to stick on the side. Now there is one orky head I have been looking at. Ooh, what's this? Ooh! Grenade holding arms. That could be good. Hi, Cuticle, and don't bombard me! No! Dodging! Dodging! Look at this cool head thing.
Bombardment.
Ow! I was wondering why it was so fast. You just said it so slow. You said bombardment. And then you bombarded me. The little things are taking a little bit to do for, aren't they? Being a bit slow today. Ooh, 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 more orky bits here. Tiny little armor plates. One more here. Yeah, I've got some orky cromlech bits. In the end, I've not been a big fan of them. Ooh, more burdenby things. That could be nice fuel tanks on the side. Big old engine piece that we could use. Main thing we're trying to look for is like grot arms. Grot heads. You know what, let's use this. And there's like one of the armor plate things from the Dreadnought I'm particularly looking for. shocky stabby bits. And for Prodder. Hello, Dr. Smiley. More dakka is better dakka, yes. But today we mostly want exploded dakka. Also, I'm looking for some tusks. Like, if we look at one of the armor plates we got out earlier, it's got these weird circles on. And yeah, here it is. Like, those are where tusks are meant to glue in. Should have glued them on in theory right away. Oh yeah, I got 2 more minutes of that video of being editing done. Just 21 minutes left to edit. No, I don't want to stick tyrannid bits to them. It's the Eldar who have the ones that the monster hunters. Squig jar. Nah, I don't want a squig jar.
Puff word of the day. Nurgle lads. He is
Hi,
squishy.
French Puff.
He is cute. He is absolutely disgusting. Get your very own Nurgling. Today. Orizil. Greater than 3.
Yeah, you can get your own Nurglings now. I don't have one. I got a squig instead. But you can get your own little Nurgling. Plushie, if you wanted. They sell them. If you go to Warhammer merch, actually, if you just look up like Warhammer plushies, you can find them like on all sorts of toy stores and stuff for relatively decent prices. Or at least if you're in the UK or America, I don't know elsewhere. Would this be a rocket launcher? Maybe. I'm assuming it will be. Oh, there's one place we got it out yesterday. I'm going to put it back in here, and I was like, I should have kept it out for today. I had a really bad headache after yesterday's stream. Maybe it was a bit of a glue fumes and stuff. Maybe it was just because I was tired. Ooh, that's a nice bit. I ate the Nurglings. Num 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 num. It's gonna harm you? No, I don't believe it. Nurglings would never hurt a fly. Purposefully. Well, great thing about being a Nurgling is you don't know what hurts people. Ooh, now that's a cool Orky piece. That's another Orky piece I want to use. That's an Ork arm. I don't want that one. Ooh, that could be a good Ork arm. Well, I'm missing something here. Okay, that's a cool piece.
Please buy them. If I don't sell enough of them, he will harm me. I am hostage. No, please, no.
Cuptle would never be a hostage. Cuptle's a hostage taker. Ooh, another proddery thing. Another gubbiny thing. More knives. Ooh, more random spiky gubbins. Spiky gubbins are good gubbins. You know, you got those silly orcs who, not orcs, those chaos marines who think they're the only ones that can be spiky in the 40k universe. But not. We orcs like being spiky too. Okay, French Puff. That's enough for now. Okay, let's call it a lie. More spiky gubbins. But what else do we want? I could just stick this out like off some of the side. Yeah, that could be fun. take out some of the Necron guns out to the side of it. Just for fun. Spanner! Okay, I can move that arm to one side. That might be fun. Oh, more spiky bits. No. Oh, more spiky bits. More spiky bits. Bandito. Goblin head. Rot head, sorry. Okay, but what do we want today? More spiky bits. Where is it? Did we already take it out there? No, it's not amongst them. It's a relatively large head. Like, if you look up the Death Dread model, it's the skull thing on the front of that I'm looking for.
It's a cat.
I'm not a cat, I'm a cupcake that looks vaguely like a cat right now. And hi Mississippi Gonzo, how you doing? It's only vaguely like a cat. Not actually a cat. I guess another cool bit we can glue onto the side. We got 6 of these old school sentinels that we're converting up into killer cans. There's just a few pieces in here that I kind of want to get a hold of. Ooh, that could be fun. Stick on the side. I feel like Bitsbox AMSR. Ooh! There we go. That's a really good chunk to add on to it. I've also got a second Death Dread I found really cheaply on eBay from the Combat Patrol magazines. So I've got some spare bits there. As well.
It is a cat. I want a pet cat.
No, we're not cat. Me, not cat. Me, cupcake. Cupcake. I just... Due to the magics of you guys, I just kind of look a little bit like a... You know, cakes come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. It's true. Wow. It's not even like a small piece I'm looking for. That's a cool head. I'll put some grenades on the side, I think. Maybe. Where did I put it? It's not like it's a small piece. It's a big old massive piece. And the same for the tusks. It's not like the small parts. They'll be easily lost and hidden. Or shouldn't be easily lost and hidden, but you know. Oh, more cool gubbins. More cool toe claw pieces. I need like a filter system on this. The way you can shift through them all. One of these, another one of these gubbins. I can't play Space Marine 2 until maybe next week because it's not working currently. Why is it not working? It could be your system settings aren't high enough. But it depends. Is it like on PC? Whereas on PC it can easily be system settings. If cupcake not a cat, then puff is not a cupcake. Choose I am cupcake. Look, at the bottom you are a cupcake. There we go. Okay, none of these bits. Is it possible I already took the pieces out that I wanted? And now you're a cat. Puff
If
cat.
Cupcake not
No.
a cat, then Puff is not a cupcake. Choose. I am Cupcake, but you are cat. Or you are not cat, but I am not Cupcake but a Puff.
There we go. There we go. Puff cat. No, I'm not a cat. You're so mean. We're all cupcakes here. Oh gosh, I'm getting a headache again. Okay, I've just got to be a little careful as we go through all these parts. You see, where the heck did I put it? I mean, I've got lots of parts here now. It's not one of these ones, was it? I didn't already take it. I just not realise it's a part I'm currently looking. I didn't get the tusks either. No, it's none of these parts. It's too big to be any of these parts. Oh no. There we go, there we go. Okay, I think maybe we just have to accept it's not in the box. Oh my goodness, why aren't you in the box? Okay, let's pick up a bunch of pieces. Will that work? No. Oh, I found one of the tusks. Yeah, I'm a genius. Okay, I doubt the tusks are next to one another. It'd be super nice if they were, but they are not. You know what? I kind of need like a second box just to like filter through these things. Where? I'm getting my hair caught and everything. Oh gosh. Okay. gonna put big pieces in here. Yeah, big pieces, but are definitely not ones I want to use. Get out my way, fully. Yeah.
I'd if you saw my other comment, if so just tell me. But puff come in many different shapes and sizes.
They do, they do. I did see it. And so do cupcakes. Box full of dakka fodder what? It's a box full of dakka fodder what? It is a massive box. It's not that massive. It's not as big as my box of Imperial and Chaos bits. I was thinking about whether we should put the Photon in this box of the Imperial and Chaos box. I decided to put them in this box instead, like for spare parts. There we go. There we go. There we go. Do 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 do. You are a cupcake. Everyone on the channel is a cupcake. You get magically turned into one as soon as you appear on the channel. That's just inescapable fact. Yeet. Ooh, tiny little rocket launcher. Thanks for the drink. Thanks for the can of cola. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Ooh, got arm. That's good. See. Oh no. Oh no, pieces are going everywhere because they got caught in my hair. Okay. We'll just keep going. Like a box of cereal I've got here. Ooh, that could be cool. And that can be cool too. Okay, I don't want this power claw. This could be really nice. Or useful. Okay, that's so okay, no, we put that there. I've now made enough room in the box so I can go through each piece. Oh, more got arms! Yay! Now I can more succinctly filter all the pieces. Is succinctly the correct word? I don't know. I don't know English. I just pretend to do on a Tuesday. I have all my bits in a plastic candy box and helmets and Space Marine heads in a plastic bag. Yeah, I've got lots of bits separated into plastic bags. But unfortunately, none of the bits we're looking for today. At least I think they're not. Just let me check this little plastic bag. It's got some of the smaller bits that I definitely wanted to keep to one side. No. Ooh, more rockety bits. I want to keep them. Okay, that's a burner mask. We could use that for something. I don't know what this is, but it could be fun just to stick on the side. Do 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 do. Machine gun bullets. You know, unfortunately, I've already thought of ways that I can just, you know, get other parts. But the artistic part of my mind says I now have to find the parts I've been looking for. And I can't just stop. So, unfortunately, we're in this of a long hole. We found lots of other cool bits, though. That could be a fun random gubbin to stick on. Thanks for the drink. Yay! I need more drinks. Head to organised. I've got certain weapons and arms that like Space Marines organised. But most of the other ones I didn't have organised, partly because I didn't really expect that I would be going through my bits box for lots of different bits. I should have been aware with the orcs. Unfortunately, I cooked up a bunch of the sprues yesterday without even thinking that, yeah, I definitely will want to be going through them today. But that's because yesterday I just had such a bad headache. I was just so out of it after the stream that I ended up just... not really thinking. And it happens. Oh, whip arm. That could be cool. I'll be careful, all of the bits are getting separated again. Okay, maybe I accidentally put them into a wrong bits box. I mean, as I said, I was a bit out of it yesterday when I was putting things away again. No. Well, you know what? That arm could be fun. Could it? Yeah, that arm could be fun. It's the exact same arm, but you know, maybe could be fun. Twice. Oh my gosh. I need to like go to an improv course or something. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I accidentally did put it in the wrong box, because by gosh. Stick bomb? No, I don't need the stick bomb. I don't like that head. Another grot arm. Let's put that to one side. Actually, no, that wasn't a grot arm. That was an Eldar arm. I'm a silly Billy, yeah. Looks kind of like a grot arm, but it's got spirit stones and stuff, and the hand's a bit too small. Ooh, random gubbins to stick on. Again, not a big fan of this head. Okay, but I really should have found the second tusk by now. Like, I don't think I put the tusk in the wrong box, because we already found one of them. But it's like, did I accidentally shift through it without even noticing it? I probably did. Okay, now my laziness is taken over. For pile watchers, where your Pyre Watchers are being tricked by the Alpha Legion. It's kind of cool. It's nice to make all of your different armies that you collect feel connected to one another. Like all my armies are involved in a war with one another. Okay, this is full of random gubbins. But what's back here? I have Death Dread. And we can steal some bits from this, such as one of the tusks. And also, I think for rocket launchers, we can steal. Okay, where's the tusk that I do have? Don't tell me I've lost it again. One of these things. How do I already lose it? I should have remembered which place to put it. Okay, it's not fair, not fair, not fair. Oh no. I think when I get Space Marine working, I make Pyre Watchers and your Alpha Legion. Ooh. Not sure how much you can do with the editing in the customization thing. I did manage to make my own Black Templar guys in there. Well, that's just because they're Black Templars but with one blue shoulder pad. Or coloured for the whatever detachment they're in. Do I have tusk blindness or something? Why can't I see the tusks now? I had one out. I found it. I got it out. Okay, put that piece there. No. Why am I suffering from tusk blindness all of a sudden? No. It didn't fall on the floor, did it? I hope not. I was like, I thought once we got the tusk, it'll be easy to find. I didn't put it in here, did I? No. Oh, I'm such a silly Billy. Could you imagine it if I found the tusk and then immediately put it back in the box without realising it? That would be both hilarious and painful. Okay, so you... piece this. There it is! I found it! It was right in the middle. Okay. So which one are you? I think a Pyre Watchers have a regular salamander colour scheme. But much darker greener and white shoulder pads and silver. Ooh. Not sure what my colour scheme for my salamander homebrew would be. I'm thinking just orange in general. Maybe orange and dark blue. Okay, that was a piece. Oh no, we used it. That's why I couldn't find it. We used it on our Right here. It's there. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find it. I'm an idiot. Oh, no. Well, you know, you live and you make terrible, terrible mistakes that you can never live down. And you'll never learn from them, you just make them over and over again, because ultimately, that's what life's about. Making the same mistakes over and over again. Oh, gosh. But, you know, it's fine. Big old tusks, though. I can, like, stick it on the front of one of these. Yeah. Actually, we can't because this piece is in the way, but I think if I cut that out the way, it should work. Just cutting through the polystyrene plastics. Cutting through the polystyrene plastics. No, 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 no. I need my knife because I just can't get into there very well with my clippers. Okay, this is not going to be easy either. I'm using the knife the wrong way round. I should really cut away from myself, not towards myself, but... that's why. So you don't accidentally stab yourself in the thumb. But it's fine, it's a relatively blunted knife now. There we go. Yeah. And then would this like fit on for fun? It would now, yes. Well, Mr. Brightside seems to be still on the UK charts for 6 years running now. Hey. Hey, I forgot I was about to sing a part of Mr. Brightside, but then I forgot what it was. It's an incredible sun. There we go. Look at this. Yeah. That's how it sticks. That's why we've brought out all these bits together. Just so we can stibbity snabbity do stuff. Okay, we can break off the arms on this main body. It's an incredible... It is a good song. I like Mr. Brightside. Okay, if I stick archy arms to this though, will that work? Not archy arms, Gretchen arms. Like, we got this Gretchen arm that's pointing that way. Yeah, I think actually it will.
They sealed their fate by supporting Russia.
What's this, sorry? It was just the Lameo because the Guinness Book awarded it 2 records. Is that like Mr. Brightside? The Killers? Oh, they support Russia. I've never heard that. To be fair, I didn't even know who wrote Mr. Brightside. Ew. Well, that's a fact I didn't want to note. I had to look that up now. Okay, we got grotty arms though. Stick them onto the guardsmen bodies. And they should work. Okay, and what about a grotty head though? Okay, the complete lack of a neck is not good. Okay, I think that works perfectly. Let's get some glue onto this little fella. And hopefully it will stick. If it doesn't stick, we'll just use some super glue. Oh, there we go. But anyway, let's keep politics and stuff out of the stream anyway. Best to avoid that. There's only war. Yeah, there's only war. Let's keep IRL stuff out of this. As I said, keep IRL, you know. Or start having to time things out. There we go. Glue there. So we're meant to be a happy place here, away from the realities of the real world. Yeah, I get chaotic girl and away from the topic now. Look at them, we're turning the guardsman into a grot. It's beautiful. Okay, this is working for the most part. I just want to move that arm a bit further back. Yeah. Okay, and then we glue him back into the sentinel. But not yet, because I don't like the way his arm's positioned and I can't grab it. I want this one further down. It's more in his lap. There we go. And we can glue his feet and stuff and his back. And hopefully he'll go back into this thing nice and neatly. There we go. Yeah, it's a grot in a sentinel. Painting him is gonna be a hassle. Okay, is his arm actually able to... It is nice. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Now that sticks into there. And what do people think of the new Hashut? When do you think the spearhead for Hashut is going to be released? Or if it is even going to be one? I think there will be one. I think it'll probably be in a couple of weeks. Maybe a month or so that they'll finally give them a spearhead. Okay, but there we go. I like this. Rot inside a machine. Okay, did I cut off those rocket launchers from earlier? I hope I blooming did. That's not got rocket launcher on it. I didn't. Time to get the rocket launchers. Okay, there's one, and it's P72. There's another piece I need to stick to the side of it to cover that thing up. It's not there. Okay, I think I found them. I've only got for other rocket launcher. There we go. There we go. And then we want to get the rocket launcher onto this thing. There we go. Oh, that'll look cool. Okay, but to truly make it cool, I think I need to just get this into... We did this yesterday. Okay, that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. I'm getting rid of that little square thing where it's meant to poke into a thing. Yesterday, we did this and it went perfectly both times. Okay, there we go. I could just... We're going to get a Chaos Apothecary, Butcher, Surgeon, Dark Mechanicus. Looks like we might do. Don't know when. Because sometimes these things that they give for rumour engine gifts can be a bit... take a while to finally release. But looks like one day it'll be coming. What I'm thinking is I want to remove this tanker thing on the side. Because that's our flamethrower. There we go. It's off. It's on the ground. Okay, what I'm thinking, put the rocket launcher up here. Like that. Yeah. Hi, TA, how you doing? Okay, this can go on like that, maybe. Nah, don't like it. Okay. Now I'm just looking for a way to like, because that bit feels like it needs to go into something. Take a thing like this. Have that go through. Ooh, that could work perfectly actually. Yeah. Oh no, I'm dropping bits again. We have that glue onto there and just leave it a little bit so it's got time to set. I can look at what mechanical arm we want to give it. I'm thinking maybe give it this knife. You're gonna go now. Bye, Dr. Smilex. Thanks for popping in. Okay, I find there's like an eagle there. I want to get rid of that eagle. Knife, once again, get over here. The eagle is gone. There we go. But where's the mechanical arm gone? Here it is. Want to get that? Not there. Let's put it there, actually. Got a little stabby arm. Oh, that's so silly looking. It's so short and stumpy. But I love it. Okay. Super glue. Big old splodge of that onto this. Then, because this is resin. And equally it's quite trying to go onto painted plastic, so. And very old plastic. Oh, there we go. And let's look. What else do I want to stick to this to make it all look orky? Oh, we could give a big old orky grin like that. Oh, that'll look cool. The funny thing is that you could very easily make this Death Thread sized. Because it uses the same base. Killer cans themselves use the same base as the Death Thread. I would just stick a bunch of extra arms onto them. And something to add a tiny bit of extra height. It honestly just works. Okay, I want to get rid of that protrudy part a little bit. So this will go on better. Oh gosh, that's falling off. No, stick on. There we go. Should give that time to set a little bit. Rocket launcher will go there. Don't you love a good Orky kit bash? Okay, then we just hold it in place a little bit. Nope, falling off. So it'll take a little bit for it to set, but it'll be fine. There we go. Yeet! Okay, and now we want to look. We could have the tusk thing on instead. Now I want to save that for something else. I think we could attach this to the side. Or maybe just put it over the legs. Oh, that would be cool. One over each leg. Yeah. Thinking. Kind of liked how this looked. Don't know if it will still fit with a rocket launcher. Don't think it does. No, that fits well enough. Yeah, I like that. And I want to put something on its side. I just... This should have enough area, surface area it's sticking. And be light enough. Never mind. I can just stick it on and leave it. But apparently not. There we go. Oh gosh, I got glue everywhere just then. Well, thankfully I'm wearing gloves, so relatively fine to handle until you stick yourself to the model. Oh, there we go. The sentinels looking good and orky. Now we got this big old piece here that we want to cover up with something. And oh gosh, that's not stuck properly still. Thinking something like this could do a good job of that. Yeah, put off that little prong on the back. There we go. Why are you falling off? Oh, okay, gosh, the glue's still drying, the plastic glue. For that joint there. Okay. Makes sense. That's fine, we can take this and just try to stick this over here. No, don't stick to the glove. Why do they always want to stick to the glove but not what they're meant to stick to? Okay, I'm getting Google notifications. Never mind, it's fine. Okay. Now onto the back, which doesn't look very orky, but we can glue something orky onto the back. Something like this. Now we need some sort of gubbin. But what gubbin? Oh my gosh, we can make it like a wind up. Oh my gosh, that would be perfect. Oh, I want to wind up killer cank. Like the new Nutcracker killer can. That looks like a Foist and Firstborn that's coming with... Oh gosh. Throwing everything everywhere. Stop it. For Red Gobbo. Okay, stick this in place. We just have to wait a little bit. Again. I have a good connection point because of a rounded bottom. Maybe I should have cut that out. And flattened it a little. Okay. I just hold it like this for a bit. It should hopefully sort itself. Okay. I've already got wind up killer cunt. Yeah. Maybe I can, you know what, we got the main focus of this model done. So let's put that to one side. And later, we can think about sticking more bits to it. Then we have this armoured killer can. What I'm thinking with this guardsman in here, break off his head. Just to make room for a grot. I said break off his head, but his entire body is coming out instead. That was not intended, but you know, it happened. And we just accept it. What we do now is look at sticking this grot inside. And we want to armor panel up the side that is broken out already. So that part. I do have some metal sentinels, but this isn't one of them. Okay, maybe it's about time we get the plaster card out. So that we can plaster card up this side here. Plaster card that bottom part, the back. And then just have him sat on top of a plaster card. Then the equipment on this guy is solid. The main issue with him is it just doesn't look archy enough. We're putting a grot on the outside will help. Putting the plaster card on will help. But We still need other ways to make it look grotty. To make it look orky. Thinking maybe this is the one we put on for tusks. Yeah. And we've got the big old Aquila symbol on the front and on the side. So let's cut these symbols off. We don't have to be very careful about it at all. Just trim them off. Because what a self-respecting grot wants the symbol of the Umis on their big old looted killer cans. I like how I'm scraping it off. You can see where the symbols come off nice and neatly. Okay, this time we did a bigger cut into it. Oh, there we go. That foot does not want to glue down, does it? Okay, then we want to smooth out that bit of plastic, so we put some plastic glue on it. And then look what we actually... Ooh, this could be good. Just some armoured stuff. Just welded onto it. That'd be nice. But give me a moment. I'll BRB with some plastic card and some scissors. Yay! How are you all doing, by the way? Are you all still doing well? Being a bit quiet. Maybe it's because I'm being subdued as well. Because I'm still a bit headachy and tired from yesterday. But there we go. We take this bit of plasticard now. And we look at what do we need to cover up this piece. We need the thicker part of plasticard first. So we cut it here. Then we want this piece here. How long? Okay, we need to cut a bit this way off. And then along there, along the top. I can bend it a little bit. So there we go. Out of interest, how strong are grots compared to normal humans? It varies. Grots are like orcs in a lot of ways, including the fact that different grots are different sizes and different strengths. In 40k, the grots that we mostly see are only strength and toughness 2, compared to a human who is strength and toughness 3. So we can assume that those grots aren't as strong as humans, but we also have to remember that the humans we mostly see in 40k, even the generic guardsmen, are still trained warriors. And generally rather good warriors at that. Most of the time it's not just anyone's accepted into the guardsmen, especially for Katzachan Krieg and Cadians. Like the best of the best pretty much, and that's what currently the guardsman stats represent. Equally, Eldar are described as extremely strong, but they're only strength and toughness 3. If we go by Goblin rules, Goblins should be about the same size and strength as a human in general. And fully stood up. Like most of the time they are spent hunched back. But a fully stood up grot isn't actually going to be that short. They're going to be around the same, about 6 foot tall, if I remember some really old lore about it. But again, that's about goblins, which are not the same as grots. Goblins are also described as more cunning than orcs, and same goes for grots. But this doesn't necessarily mean smarter. In fact, in general, orcs might be smarter than grots. But the main distinction you have to remember is that the grots need to be more cunning to survive. And as a result, orcs in general just don't really care about being cunning. Or trying to appear smart or be smart. Orcs also lack a lot of basic common sense and survival instincts compared to grots. Okay, I'm gonna have to super glue this foot down. Okay, we'll keep that there until it dries out enough that we can put this guy on. Yeah, in general, the ones we see in 40k aren't that big or that tough. They're gonna be weaker than the average human. Or the average human soldier. Do we want that? Could do. But I'm thinking instead... Oh yeah, we wanted this piece on it. It's just got some roughly hewn metal just on top of it. Oh, that's an Eldar arm, not a grot arm. Most of the time as well, when we see grots in lore, they're generally kind of pathetic. I always wondered as they would need to be tough to survive around orcs, but most artworks of them has orcs in it. It depends. If you want to see like the models of a grot compared to a human, give me a moment. I'll just get one of my grot models. So, relatively standard human, playing a bit of a tactical rock versus Grot. For Grot, that being said, they usually have the same sort of weird stance that orcs do, of the legs being bent, the body being hunched over. When you look at the arm and hand size, the Grot's hands are actually bigger. And the arms might even be thicker. So fully stood up, they're going to be taller, but generally still shorter than a human. And both of these are relatively, but not the newest models, especially that flamethrower one. But they're probably relatively accurate for scale. But I think Grots can be up to human size relatively reliably. Okay, yeah, we'll put this Grot in here. As I said, just like orcs, oh gosh darn it, they vary in size quite heavily. Old Grot and Goblin models were a lot bigger than they are now. In fact, we can look at the old world goblins and compare them to the Age of Sigmar ones. There we go. Sorry, it took me a little while to get them off the trays. So here is an old world goblin. As you can see, it's extremely hunched back. It's extremely hunched back. It's got a very big head, very big nose, very big hands. Like, its hands are cartoonishly big. Like, look up from next to a space marine. You can actually cut off the hands here and use them on like an orc body, and they still wouldn't look that weird. But then compare it to an Age of Sigmar goblin, and you can see the massive size difference. And if we compare the Age of Sigmar goblin to a Grot, you can see they're actually very similar in size. Then compare them to a human and the old scale of goblins, and you realize, and this is where you can see that, you know, old lore, or if they just stood up tall, they'd actually be about as tall as a human, but instead they're just constantly hunched back, bent legged, and everything else, just like an orc is. Goblins in old world as well are also stronger. I think in general they're like strength, or at least I think in fantasy they used to have strength 3 and toughness 3. I don't think they're strength and toughness 2. Can't remember what the stats are in fantasy. But yeah, used to be goblins looked sharp because they're always hunched over, but the laws changed a lot since then. So we got this, we got looted. If I turn that light off, you might be able to see him better. There we go. Yeah. He looks all weird and wonky. This is the textured plastic card. I do this, you can kind of see the texture on it. I talked to my father about if I can get a dimmer switch on my light bulbs in my room so that, you know, it might be better. You know, let's cut this piece off here and glue it onto the side. In theory, they could grow in size if they survive battles like orcs do. I think there's generally a limit that most goblins will grow in size to. I think that is an important point to make. Goblins in the Warhammer Fantasy universe were often used as frontline cannon fodder effectively by the orcs to soften up the enemy or just to take like the immediate gunfire. So you often wouldn't see them survive too long. But generally you shouldn't expect them, even when they do, like the goblin tribes, for them to be as big as an orc. There is one who is bigger than most orcs, and that's Grom. But he is an exception, not the rule. And that's mostly because he ate some troll flesh and it gave him magical troll powers. So yeah. I think goblins generally survive like alongside the orcs because it's they use the intellect, like the grots and goblins of the living with the orcs. They generally, it's a cunning survive. On top of that, the orcs like to use them in terms of like, orcs don't want to do a lot of work. Like, they're kind of lazy at times when it comes to just general everyday stuff. And as a result, if they got the opportunity to get a goblin to do the work for them, well, they're going to be more than happy to take that opportunity. Or at least that's generally what you can expect from an orc. So goblins survive by generally being useful to orcs. Or grots do anyway. Goblins have a habit of like running away from orc tribes if they like lived there. And then setting up their own tribes or finding some goblins to live with. Wasn't one of the goblins for Old World a Herald of Mark? Yeah, that's Skarsnik. He was the most cunning of all the goblins. He's incredibly smart. I think there was like one piece of like very old lore that suggested he was aware that he was in a story. Or like, do you know? He was aware that he was in a fantasy setting. The world wasn't real. Well, a lot of really old stuff. They did have a few of those. They liked doing that sort of thing back then. But yeah, he's incredibly smart. And few other orcs or goblins are as smart as him. But in Old World, most orcs and goblins were actually intelligent. Orcs were just so obsessed with violence that any intellect they had could often be lost. Or would just be ignored. Goblins, on the other hand, though, they're smart. They use their intellect. Similarly, there's an orc that was like the whatever Herald of Gork. I think he's still around in Age of Sigmar land. Yeah, just pin this under the back, I think. So, oh no. Yeet. I'm thinking we can stick a couple of these pieces to give him like pincers. It would be interesting if he had a counterpart in 40k. It would. We don't have... Well, unfortunately, we just don't really have a goblin or grot faction in 40k. The closest we've got is the red gobbo. And that's more of a mem than anything else. He does have stories that I think are canonical. Like, he's got a new book coming out. But, you know... There's always issues. I don't know how canonical it will be. I don't know how canonical his other stories are. He has been around in lore for ages. Like he got for BFG Red Gobbo shirts. Out of Fleet Gothic. And you've got the Goblin Revolution, which is why that a bunch of, you know, the proxy companies like Cromlech have Soviet goblins. Because, you know, it's the Gobbo Revolution. Okay, I think this is looking relatively orky now. Yeet. Okay, let's look at another one of these. This one. It's already got a missile on. It's got the number 3 written on it. Okay, that's broken there. Let's glue its foot down correctly. The Orky Revolution. You gotta love orcs, though. What do I want to stick to this guy? He already has a 1 missile on him. I think maybe sticking some small missiles on him might be fun. But I also want to go with... He was the Grot faction leader on Gorka Marker. But the fact other red gobbos seem to take up the same mantle seems to imply he exists as some sort of idea that's spread through the grots. That's cool. You go away. I'm thinking we get this guy in here. I'm thinking we do what we did with the other one as well. Okay, let's put some pieces to one side. There's some small rockets I had over here. Where are they? Might have moved them. Might have not. Oh, I kept finding them. Okay, there's one rocket here. No, there's the 2 rockets together. Just a day of trying to find things. Oh, here they are. Looking at them at a weird angle. Yeah. I think that's a running theme though in Warhammer, of this idea of rots being constantly replaced, because Macri, or whatever his name is, the rot who is with Gaskell all the time, Macari, that's his name. He's died multiple times and they just replace him each time, so no one has to tell Gaskell that his favourite grot's dead. Okay, this can go here, I think. If that goes there. Like that. Yeah. We've also got this idea of reincarnation with the Orks anyway. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the Orks at times. Especially modern Orks. They seem a bit different from the Orks I grew up with. Here we go. Now I just need to get the sides. Do we have any cool panels here that could be good for the sides? A few that aren't too shabby. I want to stick this orky thing to the front as well. That thing. Here we go. Unfortunately, it's big old gaps at the side. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah. Okay, what would I want to do? We can attach an arm. But for now, I'm thinking I instead want this guy popping his head out. So I need to cover up the sides. Looks like it's time to bring out the plaster card again. There we go. And there we go. We get the plaster card on here. Like that. And that should be fun. Yeah. And people think that maybe we'll get a Grot Revolution faction eventually. But we've been thinking that since, well, I started getting into the game. So I wouldn't hold any breath about it. And at the moment, people seem excited, maybe a bit overly so, for the idea of Exodite Eldar appearing. Like canonically. Into the game, sorry. And having models, which maybe they will do. There's also all sorts of rumours about. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah. Okay. So we can cut that piece under where my thumb is there. Glue that to there. Yeah. There we go. I think they will ride dinosaurs if they come back. Or the exodites. Otherwise, there's just no point making new models for them. Or even new rules, just get them to use Craft World Outdoor rules, which is kind of what we do now. For people who definitely want to play them. Okay, I do have actually something over here. Where is it? Here we go. Some tank covers. There we go. Remove this piece. Okay, and then what I could do is like this piece here, and then bend it all around and try to get it to attach under here. Yeah, I imagine for Craft World Outdoor would ride dinosaurs. Either that or they'll give them something unique. Maybe they'll make them ride bugs. I think people would... I think they'd have to make it something like dinosaurs though, if not exactly dinosaurs, something very similar. Because most people who'll be excited for them returning will be excited about dinosaurs in 40k, which currently we don't really have. If you want dinosaurs, you've got Age of Sigmar. They're not even being brought back into Old World. It doesn't look like they'll be brought back into Old World for a while, if at all. Giant bugs might be an issue because of the tyrannids, maybe. I mean, the tyrannids don't look that bug-like, to be honest, though. I mean, we call them big bugs, but they're very fleshy bugs. Very mammal-like bugs in many respects. Okay, if I like remove these pieces, see how this would connect into here. Does that round side matches that round side pretty well? We would want from this piece here over to here. Like that. Would that fit? Yes. The other side would want this piece here over to here. Which would fit perfectly. Yeah. Hi, Spooky. What the frick is the thumbnail? It's me as a goblin. Made by Clemonia. Link in the description. What are you even doing? I'm making a sentinel. We're making goblin sentinels. We've made one over here. Rot sentinels. Yeah. Converted killer cans. Sorry, but unfortunately, the light is just really weird with this. So you can see the black's clearer now, but then it just makes the whites just unclear. But that's pretty cool. That's one of them. And this is the other one we've made so far. And then turn the light off so you can see for which game. You sound like really... That's just because I need a drink. Thank you. No, okay. Alright, bet I'm hop off. It's for 40k. Warhammer 40k. Thanks for popping in and insulting my fight. You was here for a bit. Okay. Oh, bye-bye, Spooky. I've just got a bit of a cold. Oh, gosh. But now I'm gonna... Okay. Bye-bye, then. Who's your favourite YouTuber? Oh. No idea who they are, but I'm glad you like them. Bye-bye. There we go. How's that looking? That looks okay. Oh no. You mistimed it just by a tiny little bit. Slot 1000. No! No, TA! Oh wait, is Bob's bomb gonna work? Oh, it looks like it. Oh no! Oh, no. You were close. You were very close. Unfortunately, close doesn't cut it, but still. There we go. How's this? It looks very, very rough, which I mean is okay. But not ideal. There we go. Does my voice sound that bad? I do know I have a habit of just going really, what's it called? Croaky. Not sure why. I mean, at the moment I have a cold or something, so it doesn't help. I don't think your voice sounds bad, Cookcon. Thank you. I do have a bit of a thing about my voice. With it being a little bit deep. Sounds just fine. Yay! Okay, we got that rough bit there. This is not going as well as the other two. Oh no, this piece is stuck. Oh, your voice isn't bad. Yay! Hello, Loco Corona. How you doing? Oh no. The piece dropped inside. And now it's stuck. There we go. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. There we go. We're trying to make some big old orky killer cans. There we go. Well, we're trying to turn some sentinels into orky killer cans. They're very old models. I thought I recycled them for my orcs. Oh no, it doesn't want to stick. Don't stick to me, stick to the model bits. There we go. Okay, so that covers that hole there. Then we have more drinks. There we go. I do often forget to hydrate. Okay, well, we can just stick more of these plaster card pieces everywhere. Why is it sticking to me?
Don't worry, you don't sound old.
Thank you. Is it true you need to wash the kit before making it? No, only if you got resin models. If it's resin or if it's metal, you should wash the kit before putting it together because you're going to have dust all over them. which helps them get out of the mode. That's why it's covered in the dust. She sounds ancient, but I'm not. Don't sound ancient. That's mean. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and do some voice training again, maybe. Go to a voice coach. Well, actually, no. I know what I'm meant to do. The reason I sound like that. Oh no, I just have a croaky voice today. I don't think that helps. Can't I even get rid of my croaky voice, which I normally can do? You must embrace your Scottish. You know, embracing my Scottish wouldn't make me sound older, though. You silly. You wee broken-headed oon. But that the accent is beautiful. Yeah, it's not a good accent. I don't really have a Scottish accent because I've never really lived properly in Scotland. I've had a lot of Scottish family and I sometimes have picked up their accents a little bit. Yeah, we now need a way for him to be able to just sit in here. Conjuror, what's up? I'm okay. How are you doing? You're super happy right now? Yeah, I'm glad. More stuff. I need to be being delivered. Make up my TF2 scout costume. Yeah! Cosplays are fun. Look at this. It's looking okay. Okay, I need to cover up that little bit as well. Embrace my roots. But the thing is, it's like, it doesn't feel right for me to even try doing Scottish accents because that's not how I normally speak. That's how I've never really spoke. I think if any true Scotsman or Scotswoman listen to me, they'll be able to realise quite quickly that this isn't much of a Scottish accent. Unfortunately, like all my Scottish family pretty much like that have Scottish accents are dead, quite long dead, so it's been a while since I even listened to them. And like my grandfather, he had lost most of his Scottish accent by the time he actually did die. Is everyone ready for Halloween? Honestly, no. I'm not at all ready. As a VTuber, I should have a bunch of stuff to do on Halloween, but I just don't. I don't really care for spooky games very much, so trying to do a spooky game Halloween, I don't think it's gonna go very well. I generally don't react to a way that people would want me to. It's like, oh look, it's a thing is happening. Play Alien Isolation.
Play Alien Isolation.
Never. Never! Actually, is that the one where it has to like have your heart rate and, you know, you're not allowed to make a sound? As it goes into your microphone. I think as a YouTuber, that won't be very good. Like, I need my microphone on so I can talk to you guys. Sound face, but not microphone. Wait, how does it do for sound then? Oh wait, Boston accent. Is that the accent that Scout has? I'm not good with American accents. I know Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh! Apparently has a Brooklyn accent. Okay, how am I meant to do this? I should have put a piece of plastic card underneath it before clipping it together. Like, idea. Nope. Kind of this. Oh no. That was a terrible idea. It's made by the same people who made Total Warhammer. CA Games. I don't think it is. It's... Oh, if it is, that's crazy to me. Oh, beat go. But do you guys know what the resting heart rate of a VTuber is? It's something like 600 beats per second. Mostly all the caffeine and cola that we drink. I'm thinking he's just gonna go that way now. I also was talking about resin before. Yeah, resin and metal, they have like a powder on them so they can come out of the mold easier. But you need to wash that powder away, otherwise they're not gonna glue very well. There we go. This looks absolutely terrible, but it's fine. It's fine. Definitely fine. Let's go after the grabby arm. Oh no. Oh no, where'd it go? There it is. She could play Resident Evil, maybe. I mean, the thing is, I don't really respond to horror games, like, in a fun way. I'm just
Enjoy
more
the
like,
fleas.
oh, hey, jump scare, yay. And I could try pretending and stuff, like some people do, but I'm not good at that. I don't have fleas because I don't have fur. I've just got fondant. I've got furdant. Fondant. Okay, furdance wasn't a very good joke. Okay, this one is definitely not our best work today. But, you know, it's work, I guess. RV isn't about jump scares, it's about a situation of not knowing what's coming next. Oh. Are these models the same kit as the Gunpla or car models? No. But these are made by a company called Games Workshop and Citadel Miniatures, which is different. Kind of similar, but they're all glue things together. Where Gunpla is just everything click and fits in Gunpla. Car models, I think they're more like this, I guess. Depends on what type of models it is, though. That's kind of funny to me. Well, where's a shock pod? That could be fun to have on the back. It's like electrified. Now I need like orky bits just to make it look orky enough. But yeah, these are raw gaming miniatures, so they're designed to be used in games. The game being called Warhammer. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just making stuff up as I go along. I'm not following an instruction book or anything like that that you would with other things. I'm taking models that were already made in accordance to the, well, mostly in accordance to the instruction books, and converting them up. Or kit bashing. Some people prefer Battletech to Warhammer. I'm not a big fan. So... what about Epic and War Master. Epic 40k is using extremely tiny models, and War Master's very similar, but it's for fantasy. There we go. And if we cut down the model piece down here, oh gosh. Okay, this is a very difficult piece to get
Fantasy
to.
Warhammer craps all over Warhammer 40k.
That's crass language. I like fantasy, but I also like 40k. And I think it's possible to be allowed to, you know, like both and think both are good. Both have the flaws. There we go. Okay, so here's our 3 miniatures at the moment. This guy. Rah! Yeah. Let's turn the little light on so we can see for more details a bit better. That's difficult conversion, that one. Oh gosh, don't spill the glue. Then we've got this guy. We want to turn the lights off now so we can not get blinded. Then back with the lights on. And we got the wind up one back here. Which I think maybe put a few more orc symbols on it. But we've then got this guy. He's got no arms. That guy's got rocket launchers. That guy's got a rocket on the side. So yeah, let's go with this rocket. And give it to him. Best thing about fantasy, there's no space marines. Oh gosh. I mean, there are the Saurus Warriors and there's Chaos Warriors. They're both basically space marines, especially Chaos Warriors. They literally had space marine stats. And then you've got the Knights of Batonia, which are basically space marines on horseback.
Nobody likes Bretnia.
Talan loves Batonia. Okay, what do we want to do with this guy? Thinking... we got a goblin arm here. We got a goblin head. Do we have another goblin arm? I think Batonia's pretty cool. Not the best, but it's cool. Okay, surely I have another goblin arm somewhere in here. Like I got 2 goblin arms here. No, it doesn't look like it. Does paint matte on these kits and a nice model? No, you don't have to paint from... Don't ignore what Chaotic Erland is saying. But you don't have to paint from a certain colour. You can paint from whatever colour scheme you like. The only rule for official tournaments is that they have to be 3 colours. There has to be 3 colours on them. And the weapons have to be a different colour to the main body. Which is one that people often forget about, including tournament organisers themselves. I'm doing very careful surgery here. Well, that's only if you're interested in tournaments. Most people would prefer if you have painted models. But again, there's no rules on the colours and stuff. The only rule about like what colours you're allowed to paint from is generally don't paint from the real life heraldry of some regime or some country or some political affiliation. That's mostly the big rule of what you're not allowed to paint from. There's no other rules when it comes to what you're allowed to paint from us. Black Templars can be painted any colour you like. Heck, you don't even need the Black Templar symbols on them. It's like Blood Angels don't have to be painted Blood Angel colours. With one of the big things is that Blood Angel successors are expected to use the Blood Angel's rules. They don't have to. And a Blood Angel successor is not necessarily going to have the same colour scheme or symbols and iconography that the Blood Angels do. Even if you go to the Warhammer community page and just look at how the Warhammer staff themselves paint their models, we've gotten 3 things converted up so far. Just let me finish gluing this guy together and I'll show you them. We're converting a guardsman into being a grot. We had to do some hefty surgery on him, such as removing the head. But so far, the guys we've made have to turn the light off. Otherwise you'll be blinded. We've got this dude. He's got a big old chainsaw here. And I'll turn the light on, which be a bit blinding with some of it, but you can see the details better. That's this guy. And look, we even gave him claw feet. Then we've got this dude. Who's pointing out the door. I'm sure Conjuror did not watch Space King. I did not watch Space King. I've seen a little bits of clips of them, but it's not really my cup of tea. And this guy would definitely have to turn the light off. Yeah. We've been doing a lot of converting up.
Space King is the true king.
I know Space King is basically a parody of 40k, or started as a parody of 40k until they got sent to cease and desist. And then, which I can understand to some extent. Especially since the people behind Space King were making a lot of money from it, potentially. Or could have potentially been. I don't know. But the main thing is that, like with Warhammer at the moment, you got this thing that I've heard this people at Games Workshop don't like, and that's the meme narrative of 40k at the moment. In which people think like different factions act in certain ways, which they don't, and it's the memes have just like got so over the top with them that people think the memes are lore accurate, and it's like, no, that's not how they act at all. Yeah.
You are thinking of something else.
What am I thinking of? Space King Space King originally started not as Space King. But it was effectively instead a parody of 40k. And after they got sent to cease and desist, they created Space King, as far as I'm aware. Which is its own legally distinct property. So that you can't be cease and desisted. It takes a lot of Space King is a 3-episode animation made by Flashkits. It's only got 3 episodes to it. I thought they made a second season or something of it, or announced one. Yeah. I mean, I might be getting these things confused with other stuff. Mostly I just get my information from other people. Oh. What was the trailer I didn't see it, but it came across my thing. I thought it was new. Flash Kids did make something similar to make fun of Space Marines. Yeah. The more you know. Oh, BRB. Bye-bye. Okay, I need to get this into here. There we go. Yeet. And then his other arm goes... The Space Marines died on a furry planet. Oh... The planet got exterminated. Yeah, I don't really care for those animations that much. I need tweezers or something here. There we go. A knife go into here. But Grot's not having a fun time in here. He's like, get me out of here, it's not very fun. This isn't what I was promised at all. Actually, if we put his other arm down, that might work better. Okay, that works better. Now it looks like he is having a fun time. Yeek! Oh gosh. She hates community projects. That's not it. Just not my cup of tea. Oh, so I'm going to come back in a second. I just need to go and use a little cupcake room. Hello. We're here. Yeah, the BRB scheme was made by Keith. We've had it for a little while now. We don't always use it. Because I don't always BRB. I'll remember to use it when I do BRB. There we go. Okay. What I could do is connect this onto like there.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record player, right round, round, round.
Round, 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 round the world we go. Round, round, round again. Right. Okay. taking this piece here because it'll be perfect for what I need it to do. Oh no, it just fell to the floor. There. There we go. But do you like it? Do you like the BRB animation? There we go. Okay, you get stuck like this. No, don't on the floor. Oh gosh. No, don't fall over and get glue everywhere. Okay, we'll just let that dry for now. And then I think we'll want this other knifey one. Over here. Onto there. Yeah. Oh. Okay, we got Knifey Boy. What do you think's gonna come out next week? Like, what new stuff is yet to come out? We got the Hashut Spearhead, but we still don't have. Maybe that might be announced and coming out next week. I think they would have revealed that. What's been revealed but hasn't come out yet? Kill Team? Oh, it might be the new Kill Team. Okay, so we got that thing on. That's nice looking. Okay, that's dried onto there now. So we can get this onto there. Wow. Like, I think it's a kill team with the stealth suits and the space wolves. I'm trying to remember what else has been announced but hasn't been released yet. Ooh, Khan, the White Scars character might get his own individual release. Okay, that's stuck there. Yeah! Okay, do we have any banners out here? That could be fun to put down a banner. No. Okay, what about in this small bag here? Yep, I got another banner in here. Okay, I can stick this here. So then at the side. Try to break this off. Now that's really stuck on. What this? A lot of bits, boss. That is a lot of bits. Hi, Paint Games. There we go. That came off nice and neatly. You like our Orky killer can made from the old Sentinel. We could stick this thing onto the side. Just big old engine. Honestly, that might be pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. We'll stick a big old engine on the side. Let's trim down this area though. Was Captain Ferren Eros for Ultramarines announced a while ago? Oh. Oh, yeah, and you got all the Ultramarine announced things, haven't you? Ooh. I don't know about Ferren Eros though. Like, how long ago was that announced? I don't remember it. Now, after we finish doing this, we'll go to the website and then we can just search Ferren. Got an extra remote on this side. Over here we can attach some random spiky bit. That would be good. Oh yeah. Got lots of pots and pans and stuff on the back. You know, that's fair, but I'm getting rid of it. Rots don't care about pots and pans and glass carbines. I mean, actually they do, probably. There we go, that came off relatively painlessly. Okay, will this just go on the back? Honestly, yes, it will. Great. My favourite Ork model is the Death Dread. Ooh, we've got one of them. And I actually got a second one, because they're really cheap right now on eBay. There's a Combat Patrol. So we actually took the guns from it, the cannons for it for these guys. Rocket launchers, that's the word. Like, that's the rocket launcher of the Death Dread model. I really like the killer cans. Grot lobbers aren't as good as they used to be. When grot lobbers... Wait, it wasn't when they first came out. When I played a lot, grot lobbers were really good. Now they're kind of just meh. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Oh, so it doesn't fit. That look, it just looks so good. You mean Tank Buster? No, not Tank Buster. Grot lobbers. Killer cans. They're like the Death Dread, but smaller for grots. That's what we're making conversions of today. Well, proxies of today. And the grot lobber is a gun they have, and surprisingly, it doesn't lob grots. It's a weapon. It's like a mortar, grenade launcher thing that's used by grots on killer cans. And they come in squads of 3 to 6, I think it is, for killer cans. And you buy them in boxes of 3. So they're cool little vehicles. They have the same base size as a Death Dread. Is the price troublesome? Yeah, super glue is quite unpredictable. Oh, my screen's going crazy again. Yeah. Unfortunately, because they kind of painted, and oh, I think originally they were glued using super glue for some reason. Back then, I did struggle to get hold of plastic glue as often as I needed to. But we're not having too much trouble with the super glue. But yeah, here's one of our killer cans. The second one we've built is... Let's turn this light off. This dude. We're building them using the old Sentinel models, which are smaller than the current Sentinel models. Then we've got this dude. He's a wind-up killer can. And then this dude. Yeet. Okay, let me get computer. Let me get under PC. Oh gosh, I've never bought plastic glue since my father had the hobby of collecting small play models, so we own so many glue bottles. Oh. Yeah, I always had to rely on like my parents getting me glue, and most of the time it would just be super glue. I could buy the plastic glue myself sometimes. I think I usually needed an adult with me. But because I was using pocket money, plastic glue was just like such an expensive thing. Okay, so here's our pre-orders of this week. Codex or army book, whatever you call it. This big dude, this dude, this dude, this dude. Yeah, it's just all Housemmith stuff until we go down far north and find the books. Don't know what's coming next week. Super glue is super expensive. It's not that expensive. It's not here for super glue I get. We got a 20-gram one, so that's a 20mm one. Space Marines. Xenos armies. Oh yeah, I wanted to show off the Orks. Yeah, here's the Death Dread. It's online only, so it's usually quite expensive because you can't get it cheaper elsewhere. But if you go on eBay right now, you can find them for about 20 quid, £25 because of Combat Patrol magazine. Or at least if you're in Europe and the USA, you'll be able to find it cheaper. But here's the killer cans. Here's what we've been making proxies of today. Which are like, it's the same as a Death Dread, but it's a grot inside of it instead of an Ork. It's the same size base as the Death Dread base, which is the same size base what these Sentinels have. Technically, our Sentinels are bigger and could actually be better turned into a Death Dread, but a Sentinel doesn't make a Death Dread, or at least not the old ones. Let's see, has any of this stuff sold out already? Only for dice did. Chaos. Housemmith of Hashut. And this is still available, surprisingly. Orks feel like Xeno Space Marines. Not really. I mean, in some ways, like the old and early days of 40k, they kind of were. If you go to the old Space Crusade board game, the orcs in that literally just look like a space marine with a orc head instead. And obviously they got their own death threads and stuff. And you've got the rots that can be like guardsmen, but orcs in general, they're kind of pathetic compared to space marines, like your average orc boy. Hi Douglas, how you doing? I'm doing well. I mean, orc war bosses are kind of on par with space marines to some extent. Same with these guys. Like Mega War Boss is a bit like a captain in Terminator armor. That dragon is a bit like a Land Raider in some regards. But no, Xeno Space Marines, right, they've changed away from that. Xeno Space Marines for a while ended up being like Necrons. In which the Necrons actually had, I think the Necron Warrior for a while had the exact same stats as a Space Marine, just with a lower initiative. Which doesn't exist anymore. Nowadays, though, the Necron Warriors are a lot worse than Space Marines. The closest equivalent to Space Marines at the moment are the Leagues of Photon, I guess. Again, they're still worse than Space Marines in a lot of regards. But they got very similar stuff, like you got your Terminators, you got your Devastators, you've got your Warriors. Nah, I don't want them to get buffed to be like Space Marine level. Because each faction needs its own thing that it's good at and that it like has its own dynamic. And by just giving a faction a buff, like Necrons aren't bad. Necrons are really good. We got some really powerful things in here, but most of it comes from their lords, specialized units like destroyers and wraiths, Cryptech and their vehicles. On top of that, if they buffed warriors to be the same level as a Space Marine, all you'd get, you wouldn't get swarms of warriors anymore. You'd have a couple dozen warriors on the battlefield and that's your entire army, just like you get with Space Marines. But really, if you want to play lore accurate Necrons, you want hordes of them. So... And similarly with orcs, I think orcs have been overbuffed, like being toughness 5, strength 4, 3 attacks each. This is very different from the orcs I played with when I was growing up. And it's just very different in general. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather just have big squads of very squishy boys that end up routing all the time. I just want warriors to have better reanimation protocol instead of D3. Give us D3 +1. I don't think warriors need a better one because they benefit from so many other sources of reanimation. If we go to the Necrons... Oh, sorry, my voice is not doing very well. My tongue and stuff hurts as well. Yeah, you got your, what's it called? Where is it? This thing. You got your reanimator over here. You got your cryptex. You've got your life orb. And you've got your stratagems. You've got so many sources of reanimating that I don't think you need another bonus. And people already find Necrons annoying enough to play against due to reanimation. It does, but I don't know. I just think it's... I can't remember the Necron rules. Give me a moment. We can just go to them. Where are my Necrons? Faction Dynasty. Necron Warrior. You can, oh yeah, you can re-roll the dice for Numberless Legion, which is pretty powerful. Do you have anything that you dislike about the Games Workshop from lore and tabletop miniatures? Hi, Adam. Nothing I super strongly dislike. Like, none of the factions I'd super dislike or anything. I used to not be a fans of Tau, but they've grown on me. I don't like how orcs have changed. That's the main thing. Orcs used to... Old lot of orcs had a more varied culture. They had a lot more going on other than just war and fighting. Which I mean, mostly they just warred and fought, and much of what they had going on would just result in big old riots effectively as the orcs fought one another. But they used to enjoy racing, they liked music, they were all riled up and fearless until the bullets started flying and everyone around them started dying and they realised, oh my gosh, I'm not immortal, run away. That's what orcs used to be like. Nowadays, orcs are fearless, they want to fight, and that's pretty much what makes up most of the personality of the orcs. It's like you got the orky belief and stuff like that, but it's I don't think all of it's disappeared. I don't think it's necessarily been retconned either. Like, for orky culture, it's not a retcon. I think it's a factor for orcs. For war, that Gaskell factor's got going on, and all the fighting intensity in general has got orcs really riled up to the point where they're basically these fearless warriors now. All the old lore about them having the culture and stuff, I think that's still relatively accurate to how it used to be. But I think recent years of the orcs, like in universe, they're just getting bigger, they're getting tougher, and they're getting fightier. Necrons, though, they have had so much. Necron lore used to basically be they were robots, they came from the ground, that's it. Then they got a bit of things about dynasties, but it was only a little bit of a thing that said, why would Necrons fight one another? And why would some Necrons ally with humans? But then they started getting proper stories, they got more lore, they got fleshed out. They became less just killing machines. And Necrons started getting personalities. At first it was only for lords, but now you're getting personalities in your other characters too. In like your Praetorians and your Death Marks. Myself was the Space Marines original rogue trader. Were basically barbarians in power armor. Everything was goofy over the top in original rogue trader. Everything must be grim dark. Yeah, the actual tagline to Warhammer in itself is a joke. It's purposely over the top. It's like, it's grim and it's dark. It's not just grim. It's not just dark. It's grim dark. And that's the thing. It was joke. And a lot of that still remains, but it's become more serious. In fact, I got a video that kind of goes a bit over that. I'm still editing though. Nothing wrong with the new crons, but me think the middle crons were such a vibe. Yeah, they were okay. I mean, they were kind of a vibe, but I don't like how that went back when you had the old crons. Yeah, for a vibe, but at the same time you had Tyranids, soulless, faceless organism gonna destroy everybody. Necron, soulless, faceless organism robot gonna destroy everybody. You had the chaos, you know, basically demons, relatively soulless, going to destroy everybody. You had just so many big bads, and so few of them had any personality. I like the fact that they've tried giving more personality to each of the factions. Even like the Tyranids of the Gene Stealer cults have gotten some of that Gene Stealer cult personality back. Now, originally Gene Stealer cults weren't Tyranids, and that's why they had so much personality. But they are giving it some of it back. And I got the Drukhari. New Eldar. The only new thing is sold out. But it's... I like the more variety and having much store going on with them. How combo boxes just being Gundam anime mechs with no more tanks. That is a bit sad. I'll not stop complaining about GW until we get Exodites. Well, I hope you get them soon. Could be of arcs that recent lore focus on the front lines rather than culture and logistics. No, they have had some lore. There was an arc that was captured by a Dark Eldar, and the arc was just like, I don't care, I'm happy. But it was more like a very stoic, violent sort of contentness with the world. And not being afraid at all of death. And that's not what arcs used to be. Maybe the change will be good in the end. I'm not sure. I know that a lot of the changes with arcs I personally like. Like with the, if you go back far enough, arcs are kind of just meh. Yeah, myself, I find 40k has taken away too seriously for lore is getting very bland and boring. I don't think all of it's very bland and boring. I think some of it definitely is. Or definitely has gone a bit more that way. But I think one of the main reasons of that is because of which books sold the best and did the best. Gaunt's Ghost. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of Gaunt's Ghost. I thought it was okay, but I thought as far as 40k stories went, it was kind of on the blander side. But Gaunt's Ghost sold very well. Kypheus Kane, very fun, very silly, but also relatively serious. But again, that one is, as far as 40k stories go, it's on the more blander side. It's very similar to Gore-Tex and Felix in a way. Which is very fun, and that definitely has a lot of a fantasy vibe in it. But it does go away from a lot of what made 40k early on. Last Chances, very fun. But that's very dark, very serious, but I don't think it's bland or boring. It depends. I think a lot of it is just like, especially for more recent books. But then you got like the books with Carl and stuff. And the ones that focus on the neck ones. And I think they're less bland. I think they're definitely a lot more stylized to them. But then you got the ones that focus on Gulliman. And while you might still see some of that crazier side of 40k, it's in a very dark light that Gulliman's trying to stamp out. He doesn't want rogue traders just exploiting the people all the time. He doesn't want High Lords of Terror being corrupt and all this stuff. But that used to be exactly what 40k was, and all it really was. I think also when you go back to the original 40k and the earlier
man and
story,
everyone needs a baby now.
20 years later, we get our Warhammer Plus exclusive Eldar Exodite. Maybe. I think some of the early Warhammer fiction, though, is also very bland and boring in many respects. I mean, okay, maybe not when it first came out. But even then, actually, yeah, it was. Because they were heavily inspired by a lot of science fiction at the time. Some of which had been out for over a decade. Or a couple of decades. Like, they're very inspired by things like Judge Dredd, The Punisher, Terminator, obviously. before Terminator came later, I think. Can't remember when Terminator came out. We're inspired by lots of these gritty, dark, and there's a bunch of other comics and stuff. A lot of them just, I think they died out before Warhammer even started. But yeah, this is back in the 70s and like early 80s, and they're inspired by this stuff. And they basically just copied the exact same stories and just into a new setting with some of it. And some of it was just, it's kind of bland and boring in a way of how it just, they go so over the top. It kind of just becomes, eh. I think for a while, in like, 4th to about 6th edition, no, 4th to 7th edition, I think is where that's where I was mostly involved in the hobby. But I think that's generally where we're kind of doing the best. Terminator was early 80s, yeah. Terminator was 80s. But it's like a lot of the time when I've been reading a lot of the old lore for this video of us doing. I mean, it's literally only 2 minutes of the video is going over that stuff. But they definitely had a certain vibe and theme. It's like, yeah, it's Space Marines effectively acting like gangs and corrupt cops. Corrupt cops at best, just gangs normally. I kind of like the idea. I think Space Marines right now have a lot more depth to them. And you do have room for the just over-top silliness. Like you see that with the Iron Hands every so often. And people don't like that all the time though. And it's partly because sometimes you then have to look at it for more serious light with your characters. Well, at the moment it's like you've got the things like the Salamanders where they're trying to be more good. You've got the Black Templars, some of them are extremely extreme and over the top and stupid. And then you got the others who aren't that bad, and then they fight one another. I kind of like that. Angry Marines. That angry Marines, they're not real though. But yeah, allowing them to have a more depth where each and every single chapter chooses their own story, and that's one of the things they do. You see that generally less of the main characters now, often over old 40k, and you see that more with antagonistic characters that they go up against. Not always necessarily that they're fighting against, just that they like butt heads with on the same side. Like you got the Minotaurs chapter, you have the Iron Hand, you have the Black Templar themselves. And then just every single time if they can just make a new chapter up and go, this is a terrible, evil chapter. I can't remember a lot off the top of my head for one I want to remember. They used... they're really evil. They basically just killed civilians for fun. But that's generally what you see with these things. Lots of Space Marines just become stoic. A lot do, but then a lot of them aren't. Like, for Ultramarines, yes, stoic. Salamanders, they're kind of stoic, but with a bit more emotion. But then all these other ones, they're the ones that are being crazy and doing the crazy stuff. It's just you rarely get stories from their point of view because people don't really like them. They don't really sell well, so instead... you have a story from a more stoic Space Marine's point of view, or from an Inquisitor or a Guardsman's point of view, and suddenly you've got these much more gangster, horrible Space Marines coming along, doing terrible things, often for fun. There's a picture on Rogue Traeger of some Astartes in beaky armor arresting or robbing someone, and they are the same height as the guy, yeah. I saw that recently. Also, early 40k did have female Space Marines. I'm like, oh my gosh, they did. And there's a lot in early 40k. I think some of the changes aren't necessarily for the better. Some of the changes are definitely for the better. I wouldn't say Warhammer is bland or boring right now. I think if all you're picking up is bland and boring stuff, then there's other stuff as well. And you got the Red Gobble story at the moment. But again, a lot. I think now, as I said, you're getting a lot more depth with characters with different factions and so on, and I think that's good. I don't think each faction should just be a mem. And I think that was like half of a point, especially by 3rd edition. Half of the point is that you've got all these stereotypes of the factions that are how they describe, or how they are described. But then once you actually get into the faction and start looking at the characters and what they're doing, you realise that they don't necessarily always fulfill those descriptions. And that there's a lot of diversity within them. Even Space Marines have that same diversity. Let's take Leandros versus Titus. And all the different Space Marine, Ultramarine characters that don't generally get along or see eye to eye. And then you look at the Space Wolves, and you've had Space Wolves that absolutely don't care about civilians at all, and then you've got Space Wolves who will sacrifice themselves just to save a single person. And it's like, there's diversity there. I think there was even one Space Wolf character I read about who was kind of antagonistic within the story. And they just killed people for fun. Not really a fan of Primaris models. The Spurns slowly started to disappear. I really like the Primaris models. I think if you really like the Firstborn models, you've got the Horus Heresy. Could do with some more screamy faces there, though. I kind of want them to remake the Firstborn Tactical and Devastators. Not get rid of them, just make new ones. Because I don't think we should get rid of the Firstborn fully. But anyway, I've been going on too long. I've got a video to edit and I'm unfortunately not feeling very well at all. So, big hearts to you. And thank you for coming to the stream. Remember to work hard, play harder. Take care of yourself and be kind to others and vice versa. Eat good food, sleep well, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes as a friends, not food. Yeah. Wee. Ah. Love you all. And don't forget to like the stream.